Hi, I'm Monica Humple. I'm a master certified coach, and this video is in a series of videos I am doing just for the unfaithful spouse in the hopes that this information can help you better understand what your betrayed partner is going through. I myself am a betrayed spouse, and I'm speaking from personal experience, but also as a coach to help you have a better understanding so that if you are choosing to stay in your relationship with your spouse after your affair, that you have a better understanding of how to lean in and help them through their healing process. We're going to talk about forgiveness in this video. There are a lot of misconceptions about what forgiveness is, what it means in a relationship, things of that nature. I actually have to talk about this quite a bit with my own clients who happen to be betrayed wives. When I work with them, I have to help them understand what forgiveness is and what it isn't. So I think there's a lot of common misconceptions out there, and I want to make sure that you understand what it is so that you don't have unrealistic expectations for your betrayed partner. First, let's talk about what forgiveness does not mean. Okay, and let's start with, I think, the obvious, but I'm going to say it anyway. Forgiveness does not mean that whatever hurt the hurt party is condoned. In other words, if your betrayed partner forgives you, that does not mean that they're telling you they condone your actions or that they have somehow come to a place where they think it's okay that you did what you did. So there's no condoning by forgiving. It really isn't about that. It also does not mean that your hurt partner is suddenly fully healed and will never talk about the affair again and just will forget about it and move on. Forgiveness is not about their healing. Forgiveness is a separate act. It's a choice, actually. It's something they choose to do for their own mental and physical and emotional well-being. But it is not a magical indication of complete healing. So if your spouse does tell you they forgive you, it doesn't mean they're not hurting any longer. It doesn't mean they suddenly don't want to talk about the affair anymore. It doesn't mean they want to stop going to counseling. It is separate, okay? Forgiveness does not take the emotional pain away. The emotional pain is still there. Likewise, forgiveness and trust are two different things. And we can choose to forgive someone and also not trust them anymore. Those are two very separate things. Forgiveness does not automatically restore trust in a relationship. And finally, what forgiveness does not mean and does not guarantee, it does not guarantee that the relationship will survive infidelity. Unfortunately, many marriages that try to make it work after infidelity don't work and still end up falling apart, which is very sad, but it's true. We forgive people and we still can choose to not be in relationship with them. So forgiveness doesn't automatically mean that, your betrayed partner is never going to choose to leave the relationship. Forgiveness is about them, which brings me to what forgiveness really is. And I'm going to start with that point. Forgiveness is not about making the person who hurt you feel better. Forgiveness is not really about anybody else. Forgiveness is for you. If you were trying to forgive somebody for a harm they caused you, pain they caused you, and you're trying to forgive them, it's not for their benefit, it's for your own benefit. You see, through betrayal and hurt, gosh, we carry so much, don't we? And you may be experiencing this actually from your betrayed partner. There's so much pain and anger, and through their grief, if they hold on to that anger for a while, it could turn into bitterness and resentment. It's a lot. Carrying things like that, if you've ever known a person who is kind of a grudge carrier and they carry that grudge for a really long time, if you know people like that, I think you're going to understand what I'm about to say. It turns you into an incredibly bitter and unhappy person, holding on to things that you need to let go of through forgiveness. That frees you. The burden of carrying all that bitterness and not becoming that person who holds tremendous grudges, that's really freedom for your soul. So forgiveness is for the person who is offering the forgiveness. It's not for the person who committed the crime. So it's not really about you. It's about your betrayed partner. And it's on their timetable. There isn't really no set time out in the world that says you have to forgive by X time. And if you have not forgiven by X time, you never will. And I know full well that there are a lot of people out here who would say, I will never forgive you for this. Okay. I don't really believe that never is never. I don't believe that's a thing. I think in the moment you might feel that way. But over time, I believe everyone's capable of forgiveness. So there's no timetable and everybody is different. Forgiveness is a choice to let go of the desire to punish the person who hurt us. You see, when we've been hurt, and especially through betrayal, there's this inner desire for the person who hurt us to hurt as we hurt. Not because we're mean, evil people. It's because there's this deep-seated need for the person who hurt us to understand what they did. Oh gosh, if they could feel an ounce of what I feel right now, they would understand and they would never do this to me again. There's also a very big issue of judgment and what is fair. You see, there is nothing fair about betrayal. Those of us who've been betrayed did not ask for any of this, and yet through the act of betrayal, we are the ones who have to pay the price for a choice someone else made. We are carrying the consequences for someone else's choice, if that makes sense. So, in a nutshell, forgiveness in our case is literally accepting the punishment for your crime. When I forgave my husband, I knew that there would be no level of work or effort on his part that could take away my pain. I forgave because I knew there was nothing he could do to erase the past. And I knew that punishing him forever was not the answer. So in essence, I accepted the punishment on his behalf. That is what forgiveness is. It's hard. That's why there is no time limit on it. And I'll give you one final note. Your betrayed partner does not necessarily have to tell you that they forgave you. They don't, because it's really not about you. It's about them. That is what forgiveness is, and that is what forgiveness is not. I hope this helps give you some clarity. Try to refrain from looking at your betrayed spouse and saying, you just need to forgive me and move on. It's not about you, and it's not up to you, okay? It's really up to them. I really hope and pray in your situation that your spouse does get to that point with you. Don't rush them. Don't expect it of them. And try to just see what unfolds. Do the work on you. lean into your relationship as best you can and as healthily as you can. Something tells me that the two of you will get there. Okay? Forgiveness will take place in its own time. I hope this was helpful.